Welcome back to the game. Let's continue to get the ball rolling for our playoffs discussion. This time, we'll turn it over to the Western Conference. Now, still with us are our experts, NBA High Post coach Charles Yu and NBA Philippines All-Star analyst Isaac Go. Guys, welcome back. This time, we move over to the Western Conference where one West semis is already ready to play itong Denver versus Phoenix. Isaac, I want to ask you first on your thoughts. How do you think this series will go, knowing that I think both teams are pretty healthy?
Man, I want to see, if like what we were talking about earlier, if we want to see Embiid get one. I want to see Jokic get one because the conversation is two-time MVP, maybe three-time MVP, but he hasn't gotten late to the later rounds of the playoffs, so this might be his round, man.
Phoenix are looking good at the right time, Charles. It feels like Devin Booker in particular is just, I don't know, just finding his groove when it matters the most.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think people give Kevin Durant enough credit. I know we're talking about Devin Booker, but there's a reason why he's able to explode because now the defense can focus on him because you've got KD on the weak side. You've got to account for KD. Now, not everybody's collapsing on him, but with that being said, man, D-Book's taking to another level. He was just excellent against the Clippers. When he's on a hot streak, man, he's as good as it gets in the entire NBA. And I almost feel bad for Denver. It's like, as you said, they're facing a team that's peaking at the right time. I wish they played somebody like Sacramento, but yeah, that's life.
Right, but I think ito si Isaac a bit biased with the big men. And one thing Jokic to win the chip, but what do you think about Jamal Murray's? Of course, he was injured the majority of the season last year, but what do you think about his impact helping out Jokic this time in the playoffs?
We have old Jamal Murray back, a guy who went up against Donovan Mitchell in the bubble. They went at it, averaged 30-plus points. You have another guy who can now take some offensive load from Jokic and who can explode for 40 any given time. So it's another option that they have right now.
Yeah, it feels like from time to time we're seeing Bubble Murray again come up for the Denver Nuggets this playoff series. So let's see whether or not that will happen against the Phoenix Suns and KD. Of course, I'm moving on. There's still a series going on here. Sacramento Kings against the Golden State Warriors. Golden State made sure that there was no beam to be lit. And you take a look at it. It feels like momentum is on the side of Golden State, Charles, against the Sacramento Kings.
We all know how documented the road woes were this whole season, but they came up with the biggest road win yet of the year. I thought Draymond Green was just excellent on both ends of the floor. I know he made some poor decisions, but defensively, he made so many big stops, and then he hit that, as they call him, Draymond Nowitzki or something like that, one-legged big shot. But I think their experience overall and their composure in the playoffs is what's going to take them over the top. Steph, Clay. All he has to do is make short runs like that in the second quarter. The Kings were starting to pull away. Clay hits like 3 threes in a row, 12-0 runs, a different ball game, and the Warriors are back.
Right, Sacramento won the first two games. I wanted to ask you both, do you think it's more of Sacramento's performance dipping, or is it Golden State really peaking at the right time, getting their groove back?
I think it's a little bit of both. We can never just say one team is responsible for the result. But you gotta give credit to Sacramento, the turnaround they had this year, the energy, the will. They believe that they could win, because that's the first thing you go into a series. If you don't believe you're gonna win, no matter what your record says, you're going home. And Sacramento has done a lot to prove that they can win, they can contend. It's now just a matter of having to finish it off.
All right, so now moving on to, I guess, the most awaited series discussion here. So let's take this slowly here and address everyone in this studio. Direk, mga producer, ano nangyari sa Lakers ninyo? And of course, the Los Angeles Lakers had the opportunity to close out the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis obviously doing really well. Ja Morant putting on a show. Isaac, what happened?
The Lakers got complacent. I think now the idea going to their Game 5 3-1, you can take the foot off the pedal. And the Memphis Grizzlies, it was bound to happen. They've struggled the last few games. That was the big game that was gonna come out, and what better way to do it at home in a dominant fashion and going back to LA for Game 6, having some momentum.
Right, but looking at the Lakers right now, LeBron James' performance here in the playoffs, he's having a bit more help from his bench. Who do you think should be like the third guy? Because you'd think it's LeBron and Anthony Davis running the show, right? Who should be the third main guy to help them get to the next round?
Well, I think it should be Russell or Schroeder, but obviously Russell's taking the bulk of the minutes, so he has to find a way to at least match. I wouldn't say match Ja, but contribute a bit, because you see he does a lot of good things, but he also does a lot of bad things. Obviously, Hachimura's been their huge bench guy right now. I mean, he scored almost as much as Memphis's bench for, well, at least leading up to this game, right? But those guys, I think Schroeder, I really like the way he plays. But to me, it's not those guys. I really think it's going to be AD, man. When he doesn't play to the level that he should be playing, they're not going to win. But when he's dominant, it's over. And there's no way Memphis can keep up with the Lakers.
You mentioned AD, and I want to go to our big man here, Charles. Sorry, Isaac, when you talk about Anthony Davis, they struggled when he went off the floor, even for a short period of time. The lead of the Memphis Grizzlies bubbled right after Anthony Davis went to the bench. How did the Lakers address something like that? Because we all know he can't play the entire game.
So probably it's staggering. So when AD is probably off the game, you probably have LeBron there. You probably have maybe Austin Reeves. You have your stronger wing players out there to just try to stretch it out. Right, coach? You try to balance it out. You try to stagger.
I like how you're looking for approval.
I have a coach right here.
I agree.
Yes.
But isn't that what they're doing though? LeBron comes out for very early, AD plays longer, LeBron comes back in for AD. So yeah, I mean that's the only way. But the other guys have to step up. You're right. I think.
Go ahead.
No, I think like one guy probably should be mentioned is Austin Reeves because he's actually pretty darn good. Like he impresses me sometimes with the things he does. But they got their work cut out for them. I mean, it's finally the one game today that the Grizzlies actually started clicking and hitting their shots, and they were a problem for the Lakers.
Austin Reeves has all the good nicknames. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. There are a lot of great nicknames coming out now for Austin Reeves.
We had them predict a while ago with Boston and Atlanta. I want to ask them this time. For Memphis and Los Angeles, get some receipts too for the Western Conference. Who do you think will get this one?
Know our audience, by the way.
I'm going with the Lakers anyways.
Okay,
I think this home court advantage is going to be huge in game number 6. I think they're going to find a way to close it out. I mean, look, LeBron's people don't like what I say, but he's getting older, right? He had a superhuman game the prior game, and it's like, less than 48 hours he plays another game traveling. So it's a bit tiring. It took a toll on him, but he had an off game today, so I expect him to bounce back.
Big Jill?
It's LA, man. I think that they want to finish at home. And if you're the Lakers, that's the worst game you can play. You already laid it all out there. So wala na, it's only good games.
I just gotta add, I said the Lakers because you said the directors of Lakers.
Yeah.
Just so I get more gigs here, so I can actually come back.
Sure, but it's not him deciding that, by the way.
Okay.
Either way, Charles, Isaac, really appreciate your time here. Please come on more often. Charles, we'll try and figure something out. Kasi mahal yung TF mo eh. All right, so we get a sneak peek at a conversation between Kathy Yang and NBA Deputy Commissioner Mark Tatum for the upcoming 2023 FIBA Basketball World Cup. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game.